Whittward Carver, the Scrambled Superposition. Alright folks, buckle up your brain buckets because we're about to dive into a tale that's as twisted as a pretzel trying to do yoga. This is the story of Professor Quark, a man who could make Einstein look like a toddler with a calculator. Our story begins in the bustling university town of Brainbridge, where the air is thick with knowledge and the coffee is strong enough to wake the dead. Professor Quark lives in a quaint little house that's seen more mathematical equations than a calculus textbook on steroids. One sunny morning, Quark wakes up with a hankering for eggs. Not just any eggs, mind you, but the kind of eggs that would make a hen proud. He's got a fridge full of them, all labelled with names like Schrödinger's scramble and Heisenberg's omelette of uncertainty. Quark, being the genius he is, decides this is the perfect opportunity to apply quantum mechanics to breakfast. He whips out his lab coat, dons a pair of safety goggles and declares, "Today I shall create the perfect quantum egg." Meanwhile, his neighbour, Bertha Buzzy B, the town's self-proclaimed know-it-all, is watching from her window. She's the kind of woman who could start a debate in an empty room. She sees Quark in his get-up and decides she simply must investigate. Quark is in his kitchen, which looks more like a mad scientist's lab than a place to cook. He's got beakers bubbling, test tubes steaming, and a pan that looks like it could survive a nuclear blast. He's muttering to himself, "Now, if I can just get these eggs to exist in all possible states, simultaneously." In walks Buzzy, nose in the air like she's sniffing out nonsense. "Emmett," she says, her voice as sharp as a knife. "What on earth are you doing?" Quark, without missing a beat, replies, "Ah, Buzzy, just applying the principles of quantum superposition to my breakfast. You see, these eggs are both fried and not fried until observed." Buzzy raises an eyebrow so high it nearly takes off. "That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You can't just observe eggs into existence." Quark grins like a cat who's just caught the canary. "Ah, but that's where you're wrong, Buzzy. In quantum mechanics, observation affects reality." Just then, there's a knock at the door. In walks Mayor McGill. He's got a crowd of townsfolk behind him, all eager to see what the commotion is about. McGill, being the bandwagoner he is, has heard whispers of Quark's quantum eggs and decides he simply must be a part of it. "Professor Quark," he booms, his voice as loud as a foghorn, "I hear you're cooking up something extraordinary. The townsfolk are all abuzz with excitement." Quark, ever the showman, decides to play along. "Indeed, Mayor. I am attempting to create the perfect quantum egg. But I must warn you, the principles of quantum mechanics are not for the faint of heart." The crowd murmurs, their eyes wide as saucers. They're like sheep, ready to follow the next big thing, even if it's as ridiculous as quantum eggs. Quark turns back to his pan, which is now smoking like a chimney. Now, according to the principles of quantum entanglement, these eggs should be connected on a fundamental level. What happens to one should instantly affect the other, no matter the distance between them. Buzzy scoffs, her nose wrinkling like she smelled something foul. "That's preposterous. You can't just entangle eggs like they're some sort of quantum spaghetti." Quark ignores her, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "And now the moment of truth. Let us observe the eggs and see what state they have chosen to exist in." He lifts the lid of the pan and out pops a chicken. A live, clucking, feathery chicken. The crowd gasps, their jaws dropping like anvils. Buzzy's eyes nearly pop out of her head. Mayor McGill looks like he's about to have a heart attack. Quark, however, looks utterly delighted. "Fascinating. It seems our eggs have chosen to exist in their pre-egg state. A chicken, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate expression of quantum uncertainty. Buzzy, ever the skeptic, is having none of it. This is absurd. You can't just conjure a chicken out of thin air. There must be some trickery at play here." Quark shrugs, his grin never wavering. "Ah, Buzzy, always the doubter. But remember, in the world of quantum mechanics, anything is possible until observed." Just then, the chicken lets out a squawk and lays an egg right there on the counter. The crowd oohs and ahs like they're watching fireworks. Quark picks up the egg, his eyes gleaming with mischief. "And now, let us observe this new egg. What state shall it choose to exist in?" He cracks the egg into the pan And out pops a tiny, perfect omelette. The crowd cheers, their minds blown like a fuse box in a lightning storm. Buzzy looks like she's about to explode. Mayor McGill is already planning the town's first annual Quantum Egg Festival. Quark, ever the gracious host, dishes out the omelette to the eager crowd. They devour it like it's the nectar of the gods, their minds forever changed by the power of quantum mechanics. As the crowd disperses, Buzzy turns to Quark, her eyes narrowing like a hawk zeroing in on its prey. I don't know how you did it, Emmett, but I know there's more to this than meets the eye. Quark just smiles, his eyes twinkling with amusement. Ah, Buzzy, always the skeptic, but remember, in the world of quantum mechanics, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And with that, he turns back to his pan, ready to whip up another batch of quantum eggs. Because, in the world of Emmett Quark, anything is possible, until observed. So the next time you crack open an egg, just remember, it might be more than it seems. It might be a chicken. It might be an omelette. It might be quantum egg. And with that, I leave you to ponder the mysteries of the universe, the complexities of quantum mechanics, and the ever-perplexing nature of breakfast. Bon appétit.